Hello, my loves. Welcome back for another video. My goal here on this channel is to provide my ladies with advice and guidance to level up their lives through lessons I've learned or I'm still learning to become the women we are destined and purposed to be. So today I'll be discussing this new frugal chic trend that's been going around lately. You may or may not be familiar with this because it's not something I really see being talked about everywhere. But I somehow stumbled upon this on Instagram, and the creator's name is Mia McGrath. She actually coined the term, but that's how I was introduced to this whole idea of frugal chic. And how Mia describes frugal chic is living luxuriously and spending intentionally. So you can still be that polished, glamorous, timeless woman without going broke because you are strategic with your money and your life. And listen, y'all, I am not a fan of trends. I think they keep you broke and looking and sounding like everybody else. But this is different because one, it's not requiring you to buy something that you don't need. And if anything, frugal chic goes against the whole idea of consumerism and constantly needing to buy everything that pops up on your timeline. And I love this concept because it's bringing back the lost art of practicality in our culture, in our society, right? No one is being practical and sensible anymore. On social media, everybody is a millionaire and drowning in millions, okay? And that has skewed our perception of real life and what real practical life is supposed to look like, okay? You don't need a Chanel bag if you owe $5,000 in credit card debt and have a 500 credit score. And this may trigger some people, but I can't tell you how many times I've seen girls who make something like $20 an hour spend 15,000 on a BBL. And listen, I'm not here to shame people's finances or dictate what a grown woman does with her body. That's her business, okay? But spending nearly half of your yearly income on your butt makes absolutely no financial or practical sense. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. It makes no sense. And a big part to blame in all of this is social media when it's was trending that everyone needed to have this particular shape. And it's actually crazy because I've seen it floating around now that BBLs are going out of style and the more natural fit body is coming back. And to be honest, I think that's weird that women's body types are considered a trend. But anyway, this is why I say I hate trends because it's too much work. It's too much money to keep up. And low key, I think it messes with you psychologically. Paying $50 a month for a gym membership and making the most out of what God has given you naturally will never go out of style. That's timeless, if you ask me. Anyways, I feel like I went off on a tangent there, but ladies, this is the year to take control of our lives. And one of the most powerful ways you can do that is through your finances. And one of the easiest ways you can manage your money is to start controlling your spending. You can do that today, right now. But listen, I know this can be kind of tough when you're a high maintenance woman like myself, okay? At all times, I believe in having my hair done, nails done, face beat, okay, outfit on T. Like I am that girl and I will forever be that girl. But throughout the years, this has drained my bank account because I wasn't being mindful about my spending. But we are leaving struggle, we are leaving poverty and being financially irresponsible back in 2025s, okay? So no more girl math when it comes to our finances. I know y'all love that girl math, but no more girl math when it comes to our finances, okay? The math needs to be mathing. Those numbers need to be adding up, okay? This is your life here. And yes, money isn't everything, but when you manage it effectively, it can improve the quality of your life. So this is the time to be proactive with your finances, not reactive. And I was the type of girl who had my closet filled with all these cute clothes, okay? Cute outfit, cute shoes, cute handbags, looking just cute all the time. But I didn't have any savings. And when something went wrong, I got a flat tire, I was stressing and crying and crashing out because I didn't have the money to fix it. Priorities were all over the place, child. So don't be that woman who looks good all the time, but her finances are out of order. Okay? We're not doing that. It's not cute. It's not cute. And it's also not cute to expect men to solve your financial problems. Like I mentioned before, ladies, we are taking control of our own lives. And God has dealt with me on being a better steward with my finances. You can't keep hoping and praying for God to bless you and increase you when you cannot even manage what He's already given you. Okay, even in Proverbs, and I love Proverbs, it's filled with a bunch of financial wisdom, by the way. It says, and I'm paraphrasing here, it says, hard work, saving, and planning lead to profit and prosperity, while laziness brings poverty. Okay, so I'll discuss a few ways to be frugal chic and some mindsets and some habits to have, ladies, because I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if some pseudo femininity coach on social media said that being a woman is about wearing dresses and heels and knowing how to woo a man. A real woman is in control of her life and is responsible and smart and intentional with her finances. Okay, she knows where every dollar is going and what purpose it's serving. So there are some financial goals that I would like to meet this year, but honey, I don't want to give up the glamour, okay? That that is just who I am. So here is my own little twist on being frugal yet chic. So start by taking a look at your finances. Girl, get those bank statements. Get those bank statements. Do not guesstimate how much you spent on DoorDash last month. No, I want you to get those bank statements and look those numbers in the face and see where your money is going and where you need to cut back. And you'll know when you look at those statements. Okay, because a lot of the times it's not that you don't have enough money, it's that your spending is the issue. So look at your bank statements and create a budget. Okay, smart, resourceful women budget their money. It doesn't matter how much or how little you have, budget your money. Plug your numbers into ChatGPT and ask it to help you create a budget for yourself. And it'll let you know how much you have left over and to spend within reason. Okay. It's also important, ladies, to define what luxury means to you at this point in your life and considering your budget and be reasonable about it. So don't say I want Chanel bag when your budget says Coach. And side note, ain't nothing wrong with Coach. Coach be having some cute bags, especially their vintage purses. They're way better quality than what they have now. But in general, there is nothing wrong with buying things within your budget. Okay. The new luxury is not going broke to keep up with everybody else and having a peace of mind because you made smart decisions with your money. Okay. Anyways, I don't know if y'all can tell, I'm really excited about making this video. I'm just so passionate about this subject. But anyways, ladies, when you define what luxury is to you, not what your favorite influencer says it is, when you decide what luxury is for you in your life, you're now taking back the power and not living and making financial decisions based on someone else who is in a completely different tax bracket than you. Okay? So if luxury for you, based on your current financial situation, is taking a Pilates class twice a month or getting your hair done, say one time a month, that's fine. And say, based on your budget, you can only afford Pilates and getting your hair done, but you also like to have your nails done, but can't afford $80 in a refill. That's also fine. Find a way around it. Learn how to do your nails at home. Become a DIY queen. And based on your budget, determine what you'll go get done professionally if you'd like, and whatever you cannot afford to do it at home. Learn to do it at home. That could be hair, nails, etc. Like, I don't get my nails done at the salon. I always do them at home using gel press-ons that I get on Amazon for $10. And you can get about 5 to 6 uses out of them. And they already come with the French tip design. So all you have to do is glue them on, use the UV light to cure it, and use a top coat to make it all nice and glossy and polished looking. And that will usually last me about 2 to 3 weeks. Okay. That's just a way I save my coin while also looking cute, and people compliment me all the time on my nails, and they be so shocked when I tell them I did it myself. And I'll link those in the description if you're interested. And there are other shapes and colors and designs too. Okay. So looking cute does not have to cost you an arm and a leg. Another thing is, if you don't have the means to get your hair done, Learn how to master 2 to 3 hairstyles on your own, whether that's weave, your natural hair, clip-ins, wigs, whatever. I personally believe whether a woman can or cannot afford to get her hair done, there should be at least 2 to 3 hairstyles you have down pat, because you just never know what can happen, and you cannot always rely on somebody else to make sure you look good. But that's just me. And me personally, I wear half wigs that mimic my natural hair type, and I just make it work, babe. I usually dye it jet black and style it and layer it so it looks, more realistic and frames my face better. And I dang near be looking like I went to the salon. So shout out to the YouTube girlies who taught me how. I didn't have a whole lot growing up materially, but honey, looking at me, you never know because I made it work. My Trinidadian grandmother, who was the divas of all divas, honey, she used to tell me all the time, it's not about what you don't have, it's about making it work with what you got. Okay, so be real with yourself about what you can and cannot afford and be disciplined enough to stand by that until God increases you. A lot of being a better steward with your money involves a lot of discipline. Okay. So if you already took care of your bills for the month, you went to your Pilates class, went to your hair appointment already, and the girls invite you out for dinner and drinks, and you checked your budget and your budget said no, what are we saying? No, that's right. We're saying no. If your budget says no, then we also say no. Ladies, respect your money so it can respect you. And if they are really your friends, they would understand. If they feel some type of way, get new friends. All right, now the fun part, ladies. Say you've done your budgeting, you took care of your financial responsibilities for the month, and you've got some money now and you're going shopping. You're going shopping for clothes, hair products, skincare, makeup, whatever it is. This is what I want you to keep in mind when shopping, okay? One is quality over quantity. So get out of the habit of spending money on things that you'll end up throwing out or replacing somewhere in the future, or in the near future, I should say. This is why I advise against trends. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, trends keep you broke. They do. And it's too much work and too much money to keep up. It's just better to buy quality things that flatter you, flatter your body type, and align with your lifestyle, not the lifestyle of your favorite influencer. Okay. So fast fashion, gotta go. A $10 shirt here and another $10 shirt there may not feel like anything in the moment, but trust me, it adds up, y'all. And most of that stuff you'll end up tossing out anyway. A few years ago, I was the Shein queen, honey. Okay, 80% of my closet was Shein, but one day I was just so fed up with how ugly and cheap everything looked and felt, and I emptied out my closet and I had so many garbage bags of Shein clothes. And I remember just thinking to myself, just looking down at those bags, like, how much money did I spend on all of this? And no lie, it had to be at least $2,000. $2,000 of garbage. So it will be a constant cycle of buying, throwing out, buying, throwing out. And this is actually a sinkhole in your finances. So instead of throwing your money away in fast fashion, save up your money to purchase higher quality things that will elevate your wardrobe and last you for a few years. Okay. Even going to some thrift stores may be a better option. Like for me, there's thrift stores in my area that take in higher quality designer items. So I'll pay like $25, $30 for a Michael Kors blouse that will last me, 1 to 2 years. And I don't have to pay retail price. And if you don't have thrift stores in your area, I know online has some good options for thrifting. And I started doing this with purses too. So instead of buying 15 cheap Shein bags that were like $10 a pop, so $150 in total, I could take that same money and buy one higher quality bag that looks way better and lasts me way longer. And as I'm maturing, I'm learning, don't go cheap with purses. And if you know, you know. Even when it comes to makeup and hair products, ladies, quality over quantity. Have a few items that you know that you love and work well for you and stick to that. I know you grow up watching your favorite beauty influencer that had 20 different foundations, 30 different lipsticks, and 40 different luxury perfumes, but you do not need all of that. So I have two foundations, my NARS, and side note, foundations are one of those things I believe in spending good money for, okay? There is nothing like a nice, high quality foundation. Like your face is the first thing people see, and having that nice, oh, I just cannot explain it. Like, if you know, you know. Okay, I used to be a drugstore girly for years until I started, splurging a little on higher quality foundations. And honey, ugh, if you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, no shade to my drugstore queens though, because I still use drugstore for my less, important events, or if I have to go make a quick errand somewhere, I'll put on my Maybelline matte foundation. Okay, I still love that one. At most, ladies, have 5 to 7 lipsticks or lip glosses that you love and that look amazing on you, and just stick to that. When you eliminate your makeup collection to things that actually suit you, you realize you don't need a whole lot. Okay. It is completely normal and practical to have one, let's say maybe at most five luxury perfumes at a time. Me personally, I just have three at a time. I also want you to think less is more, ladies. Okay, so no more waste. So if you don't see yourself wearing it or using it in a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, or if you have something similar already, you don't need it. Don't buy it. I'm not going to lie, that is something that you're going to have to get used to telling yourself that you don't need it. What I want you to do is before you make purchases, get in the habit of just pausing for a second and really think to yourself, is this worth it? Do I need this? Okay. Instead of just rushing to the cash register, pause for a second and think about what you're doing, where you're spending your money. Okay. Even for skincare, Instagram and TikTok lied to y'all when they said you need a 20-step skincare routine with 20 products. You don't. You don't. When it comes to your skin, you should definitely invest in good quality products. And good quality doesn't always equal expensive, but I'd say a good cleanser, a good moisturizer, serum, mask, toner. Okay, that's 5 products right there. Give or take one or two, depending on your skin's need. But the point is to have fewer products that get the job done and that work for you. Ladies, this is all about intentional living. So no more waste, no more chaos, no more clutter. And this actually brings me to my next point. Declutter your life. Okay, this includes social media as well. Delete that one friend that watches all your stories but never wants to interact with any of your content. Remove the influencers that when you see them on your timeline, it just makes you want to go buy, buy, buy all the time. And you're always clicking on these Amazon and TikTok shop links all day. Okay. Start deleting those influencers. Okay. I say keep a few on there that align with your personal style so you get inspiration every now and again. Okay, cancel those subscriptions in those apps that you don't use or not adding any value to your life. Start reading instead. Pick up books, read articles, newsletters, take up free courses that Harvard offers. Okay, find a way to invest in your education. And that always doesn't have to involve money. There are plenty of free resources available. And remember, a refined woman is an educated woman. All right. So get rid of those dead end relationships and those friendships in your life that are draining you. You know who those people are. Declutter your closet, ladies. Okay. Those clothes and items that don't align with the woman that you are now or see becoming in the future, get rid of them to make room. And in general, get rid of the things that no longer align with your current lifestyle or values. If you did your budget and saw that you need to cut spending on eating out and you're trying to lose the weight this year, delete the DoorDash app. Delete the DoorDash app and start cooking from home. Boom, killing two birds with one stone. Anything in excess has to go. And we are no longer inviting excess in our lives, ladies, because whether you realize it or not, this is draining you, not only financially, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. When you are surrounded by and you are constantly dwelling in excess, it actually clouds your judgment, which wounds up affecting your choices in life. And I'm not being dramatic when I say this. A good example of this is the heaviest weight I have ever been in my life was 200 pounds. And I also have a sweet tooth. I've always been this way. Even now at 130 pounds, I still love sweets. That never went away. I actually think I get that from my mom. But having a sweet tooth did not make me 200 pounds or pre diabetic. Excess. Excess did. When you eat too much sugar, your taste buds adapt, and what once tasted sweet becomes normal, and you need more to feel satisfied. And that's what excess does. It becomes your baseline and your normal. And that places you in a very dangerous and vulnerable place because you're not able to discern what's necessary. You're not able to discern what's wise or what's enough. And that's how I ended up 200 pounds with my health in jeopardy and hating every minute of it. Okay, my perception of what was enough was skewed. And that is so dangerous, ladies. I'm here to tell you that is a spiritual principle. Everything is spiritual. Okay. Excess is the absence of self control, whether it's excess in spending, eating, scrolling on TikTok all day. Anything that is done in excess is a lack of self control and discipline, and it is hurting your life. These lessons are coming from a real place, guys. A real place. God values discipline because it protects our peace and our purpose. All right. Even Galatians 5 22 tells us that one of the fruits of the spirit is self-control. All right, ladies. So let's make it easy for God to be able to bless us and increase us this year. Get your life in order. Get discipline about your life because He doesn't honor or bless chaos and disorder. All right, ladies, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. The overall theme of this video and for this channel really is intentionality. When you think about your higher self, that woman who is healed, thriving, rich, not just in money, but in love and family and wisdom, whatever she looks like to you, okay? She just doesn't happen by accident. It happens day by day, decision by decision, habit by habit, that is fueled by intention and purpose. All right, guys, I had so much fun making this video. Stay tuned for more, but until next time, bye.